FridayNightOhio.com and this week's version of From the Pressbox. I'm Todd Porter of the Repository.
I'm Chris Easterling of the Independent.
Chris, we're into week 12 of the high school football season, and the teams have dwindled, but the games, the importance, have exponentially increased here as we've got 5 games to take a quick look at in the postseason here. And let's start quickly with North Canton Hoover versus Twinsburg on Saturday night.
Well, this is, expect to see the Eric Howard show. I don't think there's a better, I know there's not a better player in the county than Eric, and he can do it all. Running the ball, he's a beast to bring down, as Maslin found out last week. And, and he's not too bad on defense either, a linebacker. He can make a lot of plays over on that side of the ball as well.
Twinsburg, of course, opened the season with a loss to GlenOak, but there's a caveat to that loss. They did not have starting quarterback Corey Eden, who can do it all, both run and pass out of that spread offense. I think North Canton Hoover is going to have their hands a little bit full on defense if Eden's playing.
Absolutely. He's close to 1,000 yards on both running and passing, so that's somebody they really have to pay attention to, because that type of quarterback, that kind of Bart Tansky type like Minner had the last couple of years, those can be dangerous players for a defense to try to stop.
What I like about North Canton Hoover is they have a horse to ride right now, and they're riding Eric Howard, and I agree with you. I don't think there is a better player in the county right now than Eric Howard. I think that was pretty evident last week against Maslin.
Absolutely. The way the big screen pass when they needed it, they were stuck in a hole, really turned the complexion of the game, and then he kind of buried Maslin with that 49-yard run where he bounced off, I think, all 11 Maslin defenders.
Another game on Saturday night is GlenOak against Brunswick. And GlenOak, I'm going to tell you what, I've never seen more momentum at GlenOak High School than I did last week against McKinley. It's the first time GlenOak's beaten McKinley in school history in the playoffs, and it was just the team's second win. I really liked what I saw out there, and I think they can kind of ride that momentum into this week. And Brandon Martin, a quarterback at GlenOak, does not get enough credit because he doesn't put up the gaudy passing stats or the running stats that a lot of quarterbacks do. He's got too many weapons over there.
Absolutely, but he does what a quarterback should do when he has too many weapons. He kind of steps to the background and lets the weapons do what they have to do. Just manages the game very well, lets the weapons do, and just wins. Yeah,
GlenOak's had 3 or 4 tailbacks that they've used this year. Drew Ayers, who's had a shoulder injury all season, has gotten healthier each week. He did play last week, threw a great halfback pass for them in that win against McKinley. Colin Daniels-Mitchell, Eric Osborne. The guy I really like at GlenOak, though, running the football, is DeJuan Spencer. DeJuan Spencer plays both ways for GlenOak. They need him on defense, so you usually don't see him on offense until the second half. They want him to have fresh legs, but he's a difference maker.
And a difference maker with fresh legs in the third and fourth quarter can really make it, like you say, make a difference. And it's something Brunswick has to prepare for, because if they, has that fresh legs, that's somebody that, that hasn't taken a lot of beatings, because he's playing cornerback where you're not in on every hit, not in on every play on defense. So he should be a little fresher, but somebody should be ready to take a little bit more of the poundings late.
Defensively, GlenOak has stepped it up all season long. Andrew Garman at linebacker has been a man among boys on defense. That defense at GlenOak, though, is going to face their biggest test of the season against Brunswick.
Brunswick's offense and Brunswick in general has just been a terrific program the last 7 or 8 years under Rich Nowak. Rick Manko at quarterback. He's thrown for almost 1,400 yards. They got 2 tailbacks in Britt Musel and Jared Caterbeck, who both are dangerous running the ball. So, they got a lot of weapons to prepare for, does GlenOak's defense.
Moving on to Division II, Louisville and Logan. And no offense against Logan, and I think they're called the Chieftains out there. 2 10-0 teams. Logan has outscored opponents 234-13 in the first half of games. Quite frankly, Louisville hasn't broken a sweat. Louisville starters haven't broken a sweat going into halftime of most games. Maybe they have to play a quarter this week.
They are the epitome of a well-oiled machine, which I think most of us expected coming into this season. After you get that many people back off a team that came within an eyelash of a state championship, there are going to be expectations, but they like everything else, like most of their opponents, they just kind of shrugged them off and just kept rolling along.
The reason why they're so good is because offensively those players are so experienced and so smart that they actually call plays in the huddle from the sidelines. They signal them in, and then when they get to the line of scrimmage, they make adjustments from there with nonverbals between the quarterbacks and receivers. That's a machine right there.
There really isn't. It starts with Neil Seaman at quarterback, but You know, you got the Matthews, Brandon and Dane. You have Bobby Swigert. You just have a litany of players. It's about as talented a Louisville team as there's ever been. And there's been a lot of talented Louisville teams over there in years.
At Canton South going against Dover, I'm going to tell you what, there was a changing of the guard with the second-place team in the NBC. I think for so many years it's been Louisville, Northwest, and everybody else. Well, now it's Louisville, Canton South, and everybody else. Canton South really took a step up last week and beat Northwest.
They really did. I think they really established themselves. This isn't the first time they've advanced to the second round of the playoffs under Mo Daniska, but I think this is as impressive a team as he's had. I mean, they obviously got the big win over Northwest, a game that was 14-0 at halftime, very easily could have been 28-0. They were driving, had Northwest needed 2 goal line stands, and they got the guy at quarterback, Matt Trissel, who makes a difference. And that's what you need at this time of year.
What's interesting is I don't think this is their most talented team, but I think this is their best team in the true words of a team. You know, with Trissel at quarterback, they've got Mike McKinney at linebacker. They've got a few people on this team. This isn't their first rodeo.
No, it's not. Most of them, a lot of them played on that team, playoff team a couple of years ago that lost to Steubenville. So it's definitely a very talented team, and a team I think can go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they're going against Dan Ift at Dover. Dan Ift is a heck of a head football coach, and speaking of head football coaches who've done a great job, Nate Held over at Tuslaw. Unbelievable job that Nate Held has done, and I think, you know, barring division, Nate Held could easily be the coach of the year in the county this year.
Absolutely. Obviously, there's other candidates out there. Paul for doing what he's done with the expectations. Donnie Hertler with, I mean, kind of coming out of nowhere with this team. But Nate Held 2 PAC championships in 3 years. They have a chance to really become the next Manchester in that league, kind of the team that dominates. Because these kids are buying into their program and they're rolling, and they are with Shelby Combs at quarterback. I mean, he's kind of does it all, and he's going to be a guy Lake County Perry really has to account for every snap.
Yeah, and Lake County Perry will be no easy task for Tuslaw. What Tuslaw reminds me of is like a mini GlenOak. They've got you know, new school facilities, this community and the school district, the administration. They've all made an investment in the football program. That's reaping rewards. And what you're going to see right now, it's election special. It's Election Tuesday. We're going to vote for the games, Chris. You're in the ballot box. You're behind the booth with everybody out there on fnohio.com, of course, and we're going to vote for the games. We're going to take North Canton, Hoover, and Twinsburg. Cast your ballot now.
Hoover because of Eric Howard.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hoover as well against Twinsburg, but I think Mark Solis, the head coach at Twinsburg, does not want to lose to 2 Federal League schools in the same season.
No.
GlenOak against Brunswick. Great matchup.
Great matchup, a coin flip. As good as GlenOak's been, I got to go with Brunswick. I just think that all-around better team, a better, you know, just program as a whole. I'm
going to go with GlenOak only because I think you're going to see a few new wrinkles from GlenOak, and I've moved into the district, so I really have no choice but to go with GlenOak. Louisville, Logan, I think we can both rubber stamp Louisville on that one.
That's right.
Canton South versus Dover.
I like South. I just think I love the way they're playing football, especially since they've gotten into the league play and now into the playoffs.
I like Canton South as well in that one. They can ride that momentum from beating the Northwest, and you know they've sort of earned their you earn your wings in the Air Force. They've sort of earned their fangs now. The Wildcats have with that win over Northwest. Tuslaw, Lake County Perry.
Blue Pride, going with Blue Pride, Tuslaw. I think Shelby Combs makes a difference. It's a toss-up game, but I really like Tuslaw.
I went against the Slaw last week. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm a believer now. I'm on the Tuslaw bandwagon. I'm voting for Tuslaw to win that game. Chris, we're out of time here in Week 12 on From the Press Box, and From the Press Box can be seen every Tuesday at noon on FridayNightOhio.com. For From the Press Box and producer Dave Irvin, I'm Todd Porter of The Repository.
And I'm Chris Eastling of The Independent.